The news you need starts right now, only on Fox Montana.
Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Emily Scarlett. An investigation is now underway after PPL Montana crews find a dead body under an ice shelf at the Black Eagle Dam. Just moments ago, we learned from Great Falls Police they have identified the male victim, but won't be releasing that information until family members are notified. Our own Taylor Thompson has been following this story since authorities were called to the scene this morning. Taylor?
Thank you, Emily. I was notified around 11 this morning that a crew from PPL Montana was at the Black Eagle Dam to break up ice when they discovered a body underneath the ice, according to Sheriff Bob Edwards. Crews were called to the scene and confirmed the victim was dead, but very little information is known at this time about the deceased. Edwards says the Sheriff's Office and the Great Falls Police are working together to uncover more.
We're checking with Great Falls Police Department, and our office has no missing persons at this point. I believe Great Falls Police Department does not either. So right now it's an unknown.
A special recovery crew was called to the scene to remove the body from the river. It took the crew approximately 2 hours to get the victim out of the water due to the unsafe conditions of the river. After many failed recovery attempts, the body was moved down the dam to make it safer and easier for the crew to retrieve. The victim has been removed from the water. I'll be talking to Sheriff Edwards tomorrow to get more information, so be sure to keep with us for an update.
All right, thank you, Taylor. I know you were at the scene, and I understand it was a fairly difficult process retrieving the body from the ice. Can you tell us what happened?
Yes, well, when we first got down there, crews were using cranes to break up the ice, and they attempted for hours to remove the body from the higher part of the river using kind of a stretcher device. But when that wasn't working because of the ice and the current, they thought it was too dangerous to send crew down into the river to get the body. They did then decide to move the body down the dam so the recovery crew could walk over and pull it out of the water safely.
All right, I know you will continue your coverage tomorrow. What's next in the investigation?
Well, tomorrow I'll be talking again with Sheriff Bob Edwards, and we're going to learn more a little bit from the authorities, kind of just about the victim, why he may have been in the river, and the process which they took to retrieve the body from the river. We're just going to learn a little bit more about that since it was so interesting. Emily?
Thank you, Taylor. And of course, tune in with us tomorrow evening to get that follow-up. Also tonight, 3 local school districts are being asked to return millions of dollars to the federal government. And now all 3 Montana congressional delegates are hoping the government and schools can work something out. Fox Montana's Cody Butler has more.
The U.S. Department of Interior is asking 3 school districts near Yellowstone National Park to return a total of $7 million. The Department of Interior says it accidentally overpaid schools in Gardner and West Yellowstone for the last 37 years. These schools received special payments from the National Park Service since 1948, since they serve park employees' children who live on untaxed federal land. Those payments were supposed to stop in 1976 when Congress passed Payments in Lieu of Taxes program, or PILT. That's payments the federal government makes to local governments instead of paying property taxes. But the original payments continued when the PILT program took effect, doubling the money the schools were getting. Department of Interior officials say they are legally required to take the money back, but Senators John Tester and John Walsh, along with Congressman Steve Daines, are seeking a compromise for the 3 small schools.
Quite frankly, they're in no position to be able to pay back the kind of money that this could potentially be. We don't want to put any school districts into bankruptcy.
The Department of Interior just discovered the error and stopped the original payments, just as local schools are getting ready to make their budgets for the next school year. Because of that, Tester says he's hoping to get everyone together to find a solution soon.
They need to know exactly what the ramifications are, and more importantly, we need to develop a path forward for everybody.
In Bozeman, Cody Butler, ABC Fox Montana.
Interior officials say one solution is Montana's delegation could pass legislation allowing the schools to keep those 37 years worth of payments. Now moving into weather, Chief Meteorologist Ted King is here with the first look at our forecast. Another windy day, but not very much sunshine, Ted.
No, not much sunshine indeed, and it was a chilly one out there today, but it's going to get much colder, and I'll have that in the 7-day forecast coming up for you in just a little while. First, let me show you what's going on, and yes, once again, there's still some areas that are under a high wind warning. There you see the areas right here, much of the Highline area and adjacent areas just to the south, and also we have Winter weather advisories for areas above 4,500 feet. The areas you see shaded in brown, that's from 8 o'clock tomorrow morning until 5 o'clock Friday morning. Not a whole lot going on right now as far as snow. A few snow showers now moving on into some of the highline region. And temperatures cold, colder than we've seen the last few nights. 27 in Great Falls, 29 in Helena, and with winds cranking away in between 10 and 30 miles per hour. Well, feeling a whole lot colder than that, more like the teens and low 20s. And again, it's going to get much colder, especially over the weekend. We also could see some snow, all that coming up in a little while, Emily.
Thank you, Ted. The U.S. Air Force is moving forward with its proposal to expand a bomber training site, most of which is over southeastern Montana. Not a big fan? Well, you can say your piece. The Federal Aviation Administration will be taking public comment through April 3rd. The Air Force says it needs the expansion to better train airplane crews to ensure their readiness to succeed and survive in combat. But some ranchers and private pilots in Montana oppose the expansion. He's the new chairman of the Senate Indian Affairs Committee, and today Senator Jon Tester spells out one of his first priorities in his new role, though he's been a member of the committee for the past 7 years.
Education. I'm a former teacher, and I think early childhood education is something that could really benefit long term, and it will take a while to get the benefits from early childhood education, but throughout society I think it's important. Native American country I think is critically important. I think that's one of the things we're going to be looking at.
Tester says he also wants to get the Little Shell tribe nationally recognized. It's something they've been working towards for nearly 100 years. A new report by the Transportation Research Group says Montana's highways could use a little work. Fox Montana's Joe Moeller says it's all about the infrastructure and brings us the full report.
One could say the road systems in Montana get a grade of an F, because according to a survey taken by the Transportation Research Group TRIP, 46% of Montana's major locally and state-maintained urban roads are in either poor or mediocre condition. The test measures the pavement, safety of the road systems from guardrails to median barriers, and the standard of bridges.
Montana's roads are increasingly deteriorated and congested, with a traffic fatality rate that's the third highest in the nation.
And that equals to an average of 211 deaths every year. And about 1/3 of those are caused by the lack of safe roads on our highways.
Crashes on the state's roads killed more than 1,000 people over the last 5 years. Montana's rural roads are particularly deadly, according to the TRIP report. They have a traffic fatality rate that's more than twice as high as that on all other roads in the state.
The report indicates that with a 5.2% unemployment rate in the state that is continuing to grow, they are calling on the government officials' need to improve the system of roads, highways, and bridges to foster economic growth and keep business within the state.
The farmer, rancher, manufacturers, and natural resource providers all depend on this system to get their goods to market, especially in light of the fact that nowadays we require just-in-time deliveries.
If the Federal Highway Trust Fund is not addressed by Congress, it will cut $395 million from Montana's highway improvements by the fiscal year starting this October. They find it a vital need of repair as they are expecting the number of vehicle miles driven in the state to grow 30% by 2030.
Without additional transportation funding at the local, state, and federal level, Montana's transportation system will continue to deteriorate.
In Helena, Joe Moeller, ABC Fox, Montana.
More violence in Ukraine after at least 25 people died Tuesday in the battle between police and anti-government protesters. The dead and injured carried through Independence Square in Kiev, the nation's capital. The government's been tearing down the opposition's tent city there. The protesters detest Ukraine's pro-Russian president and want democratic reforms and closer ties with Europe and the United States. In Kiev today, riot police are continuing to fire stun grenades at protesters who remain in the square. Much lighter news around the world. 7 Hellgate Elementary and Middle School students in Missoula have earned the chance to compete in an international robotics competition. The Nuclear Ninja Bots are working to raise funds to head the first Lego League World Festival, a tournament in St. Louis, Missouri, featuring 80 teams from around the world.
Nick Zamba, a Hellgate 8th grader, says he's taken the school's robotics class for the past 5 years.
See, I'm kind of the veteran of the whole team, I guess.
Zamba and the other members of the Nuclear Ninja Bots were crowned Montana Regional Champions earlier this month at the state competition in Bozeman. That win earned them the chance to compete at the World Festival in April.
Perseverance is huge. Usually they fail most of the time, and then they have to figure out ways to solve those problems. And
Hellgate teacher Dean Perkins runs the robotics class, which is met once a week for an hour and a half since September.
We press the orange button on top to start the program.
First Lego League programs show kids how to overcome real-world science and technology problems by building a robot out of Legos.
part of that robot has a programming brick, and we call it a brain.
Students program the robot to navigate through an obstacle course with a computer program and are judged on how well they do so at competitions. Perkins says building and programming a robot takes teamwork.
And really only one or two can program at a time on one of the two computers that we're using.
Kind of learning problem solving and stuff on how to accomplish each and every mission.
It's hard work, and they've even worked over a few weekends, but Zamba says it's worth it.
But at the same time, it's really fun. Like, we can just laugh about anything bad that happens or anything good that happens. And yeah, that's the reason I like robotics so much.
Zamba says he's looking forward to meeting members of the 80 different teams from around the world.
Well, seeing the different ways that they solved each problem, because like each team does it differently.
In Missoula, Emily Foster, ABC Fox, Montana.
Very cool. That's one of those once-in-a-lifetime opportunities, something they'll probably never forget.
Oh, yeah, that's very impressive, too. A lot of brains up there in Missoula, huh?
Smart kids.
Yeah, indeed. Smart, a lot smarter than me, that's for sure. Anyway, windy out there today. Yes, it'll be windy again tomorrow, and the temperatures will be taking a tumble, especially as we head over the weekend. Also, some snow in the forecast. Stick around. I'll have it for you right after this.
An Idol winner hopes fans will sing the praises of her debut album, a sneak peek at the new Marvel movie, and Mariah fans wait no more. She's got a new album in tonight's Entertainment Update. Good things come to those who wait. Mariah Carey has finally released the video for her latest single, You're Mine Eternal, off her long-delayed 14th album, due out May 6th. Just in time to coincide with the American Idol judges' top 10 picks, season 12 winner Candace Glover is releasing her debut album, Music Speaks. Although her project was postponed twice, Glover believes it's worth the wait. New girl Zooey Deschanel hasn't forgotten about her music career. The sitcom Scarlett has signed a multi-year music publishing deal with Spirit Music Group to manage the singer-songwriter's solo work and music from her band, She and Him. The buddy cop comedy Ride Along is cruising on its colossal box office success. Universal announcing a sequel is in the works with director Tim Story and co-stars Ice Cube and Kevin Hart all on board.
They call themselves the Guardians of the Galaxy.
And a new trailer for the much-anticipated Marvel movie Guardians of the Galaxy is out. Chris Pratt stars as the space pilot Star-Lord, who must rally a rag team of superhero misfits in order to save the galaxy. The film hits theaters August 1st. And that's your entertainment update. I was doing pretty good keeping up with the latest movies. Now I'm behind. I've still got to see the Lego movie, Dallas Buyers Club, RoboCop, Ride Along. I'm really behind, actually.
I remember playing with Lego. I don't know if I want to see a Lego movie.
I've heard really good things
it
about it.
Actually got really good reviews. So
Ben Kaplan joins me now for Sports. Ben, high school basketball tournaments have begun.
That's all the sports guys around the office are going to be doing for the next, no movies, just basketball, okay, for the next couple of weeks. We'll let you know how day one went down. Plus, we'll let you know how the UGF women can still make the Frontier Conference tournament when the news at 9 rolls on.
All right, tomorrow will be on the windy side as well. It'll be struggling to reach that 40 degrees. Chance for a few snow showers, especially above about 4,000 feet here in central Montana. And then for Friday, again, even colder, a decent chance for some snow. We could see some accumulating snow. We'll watch that for you. Sunday, we could also see accumulating snow. Look at those temperatures over the weekend. Man, that's mighty cold.
Yeah, we really take a dip there.
Big time, only in the teens.
That's all we have for tonight. Be sure to tune in at 10 o'clock on ABC, and then we'll see you back here tomorrow night.